Get my boogie
That was
on.
peppy.
Get my boogie on.
Very peppy.
Welcome, ladies and gents, to HCast episode 23. Did you like the new intro? You can thank if
kind
you
of
didn't
80s
like
rave.
Well, it's Culture made it,
yeah.
so we can shit on Culture if that's not to everyone's taste.
No,
How
I thought it was pretty good.
That's fun.
No, I quite liked it. Welcome, ladies and gents, to HCast episode 23. We have an absolute doozy today. Now, obviously, the main title is look, Super Mario Brothers movie dunks on the critics, and it is true because critics are on one hand, and then the audience is on another. Audience loves it. Critics, I don't know, sad pussies, honestly. We've also got some interesting news with Ike Perlmutter, who was the chap who basically sold Marvel. He sold Marvel to Disney. He's come out and done a very rare interview. We also have a big win for Johnny Depp in terms of his sort of Hollywood progression, hopefully coming back. And then we got a tiny little update on the Alien FX series. Bit of a slow movie day, not going to lie, but we're going to have some fun, aren't we, Tom?
Sure, why not? We saw a movie last night.
We did. So, just as a quick FYI, I always miss this part. Guys, hit that thumbs up button as you come in here. Please do. Helps the podcast out a lot. Give it a big thumbs up. Please do share it. If you want to join in on any of the conversational topics that we're doing today, or simply just want to, support the stream, super chats and super stickers are a really good way to do that. Basically, you just donate money essentially, but with super chats is a really good way to drop in and actually give us a comment so you can chime into the actual conversation that we have. We sort of group them up at the end of each topic, and then we get you guys involved. And even if you just want to ask just any questions as well, you can just do that as well. I will say as well, ladies and gents, please do check out the link in the description box to everyone's channels, as well as the second channel, Mr. H Reviews Live Archive, and become a member. So after this stream, we're doing a members only stream, which you can become a member on YouTube or you can become a Patreon. It's the same benefits, basically. We'll be doing a stream after this as well. So how are we all? Culture, you good?
Hi, extraordinarily. Yeah, I had a good time. I got a chance to see a movie we're going to talk about, and I want to talk about it. So yeah, I'm in a great mood. It's been good, and some of the news is kind of uplifting. We're going to talk about that. There's some good stuff going on. I mean, maybe not for some people, but for us, there's a lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah. Tom, how are you? Good, sir.
I'm doing all right. Hanging in there. How about you guys?
Yeah, good. Try and keep that energy up there, Tom, mate. Have another coffee or something,
I'll try.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? You got me in culture there buzzing. You're just like, I'm all right. But anyway.
To be fair, I just got another hit of coffee, so I mean, I'm gonna be here for a while.
I don't know how I've got energy. To be fair, I'm absolutely fine at the moment. But never mind. I dropped another kilo as well this week, so I'm absolutely dead on my feet. But never mind. So first things first, let's talk about Super Mario Brothers impressions. Culture, what was your impression of Super Mario Brothers movie?
I thought it was a great family film, 100%. It is oriented around family. It has a family story, a very family story. In fact, it's not even revealed in the trailer. You get so much background on these characters. Each character has their own arc. It is very, very enjoyable. I would recommend it to all ages. I mean, it set itself up as a 4-quadrant film, and it delivered. So like I said in my review, which is spoiler free, my thoughts are there. And again, I took it from a family angle because this is a family film. So I reviewed it from the family side of things. And like I said, all the characters are great. And anybody who says anything like there's any woke junk in it or whatnot, they are 1000% wrong. It is.
So Peach isn't a girl boss.
No.
There's one or two scenes where I could say she'd be a bit Mary Sue, but nothing
she's
worth
not
writing
Mary
home alone.
Sue, and I will argue with you
because she flat out says that she got it right the first time. Right,
why,
that right
though,
there is
Tom?
the definition of Mary Sue.
No, Tom, why? But why did she? Why?
She says she's from there, but we don't know that. That's the thing. They set up.
She doesn't. No, she doesn't say she's from there. She says she wanders in there, and they raised her as their own, as one of them. So actually, Tom,
Tom, no.
Anyway, Tom, what did you think of the
I
movie?
disagree with that because I don't see why that makes
You
any freaking
disagree or you
difference.
lie. It's
Yeah.
fucking true. What did you think of the movie anyway?
Overall, I thought it was fine. I didn't
Just
love
fine.
it, but I didn't hate it. It's good. I honestly was like kind of surprised at how much it had in common with the 93 Mario Brothers movie, and I wonder how many people will notice that. Like story beats. Like there's specific things that are almost exactly like the original. Like the first third and the last portion are very much in line with the original film, which just tells me that, yeah, the original script probably started in a similar place this one did and got, reworked and reworked and reworked and reworked. But overall, like basically what you would expect out of a Mario movie, this is it. Don't go in expecting some deep, like moving character piece on Mario. It's made for 9-year-olds, kids, right?
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. To me, the most distracting part was the voices. I'll be honest with you. They need to get past this celebrity voices thing.
Man, I like the voices. I thought it was good. I think the only one
I liked was Jack Black, really.
He was like unrecognizable as Bowser.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Tom.
Charlie Day was fine as Luigi, but all I could hear was Chris Pratt. And same thing with Seth Rogen.
I disagree with you, Tom.
So Seth Rogen, I agree. I didn't.
Yeah, Seth Rogen was the only annoying thing to me, Tom. I would say this. I would say I understand where you're coming from. I would prefer to have other character actors or voice actors involved in this, right? They didn't need to have stars.
Well, and that's DreamWorks and Disney's fault for between Aladdin and
Illumination.
Well, Shrek is what started a lot of that when they
with Mike Myers and them.
Because with Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy and what's her name? I almost said Charlize Theron, the other one, Cameron Diaz. But yeah, like that, they kind of started that whole idea of, we'll sell the movie on these celebrity voices, which to me, kids don't give a shit if Chris Pratt is doing the voice of Mario.
Yeah,
they just want to go and see Mario. Now, most kids are not going to care. Most people are not going to care. Those are my minor gripes with the film, really.
Right.
Like,
okay, fair enough.
Other than that, it looks good. It was fun. The music was great. I had a good time.
Animation amazing.
The animation looked good. 90
superb.
Minutes in and out. Didn't really ask too much of me. The cute there's tons and tons of Easter eggs for everybody. Yeah. And I mean everybody. Whether you're a fan of whichever era of the games, even they were smart enough to keep the commercial in the movie too, like I said, because that pulls the theme song from the original cartoon and stuff. So all that kind of stuff was great. I mean, overall, I didn't really have any complaints.
I really like this film.
Yeah.
I thought it was bloody fantastic. Look, it's a child's film, all right? Don't expect anything grand or deep or anything like that. Everyone has a good character arc. Everyone goes through, a small little journey. Everyone comes out better the other side. It's quick, bang pace, done. It's funny. I was smirking to myself. I was giggling to myself. Not giggling, sound like a little girl. I was chuckling to myself in the cinema. It was good. It was thoroughly enjoyable.
I did actually laugh more than I thought I was going to be honest.
So did
especially at that dog, and I won't spoil it.
Yeah. I like
that.
I loved all of it. Again, I don't rate anything highly anymore. It takes a lot to get me to jump up and say, this is an 8 out of 10. This is 4 or 5 stars. It takes a lot to get me there now. And this film got me there, and it's not even aimed at me. It's aimed at 9 to 12-year-olds.
Wait. Did it make you want to go buy a Nintendo Switch and play Mario Kart?
I have it. I did.
It did me. Yeah. Oh, it didn't me. Oh, I don't have one, right? So I'm sat there and watching it. I'm like, I remember how fun Mario. I'm gonna go check out how expensive. I'm gonna go check out how expensive they are now. I want to play some Mario Kart on my TV. I want to be on that. I want to be on that Rainbow Road.
And that's the other thing, right? It reaches into all the games that we played, right, when we were growing up, and now it's like, oh, these are so lovely. And the boss is like, so are we going to play Mario Kart this weekend? I'm like, hell yeah! So it's great. I was stoked, but again, I mean, it's hard to get me excited about films anymore. And I mean, it's really easy for me to say this was a lot of fun. And it was great because I saw it in 3D, and I'm not sure how many people have. And it really was.
They didn't push it in 3D, but it's made for 3D, isn't it? So,
yeah, I saw it in 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the option of watching it on. I don't think they had IMAX 3D, but they had
Just
normal
standard, I
screenings
think.
and stuff. Yeah, but it was a
Honestly,
nice big screen. I had such a good time with this film. We talk about the Easter eggs right in this film,
Yeah.
and the Easter eggs are great,
Oh,
but
yeah.
they're not member berries.
No.
They're just there in the universe. Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go. It's not, look at this thing. It's just, oh, there's in the background. Oh, there you go. So that's it. Like nice, cool little nods here and there, but not, look at it. You know, like a member
like
berry
one
where
that
it's
I
just
think is
annoying
even
and
in the
distracting.
right, like even one that I think is in the trailer. They have like the Jumpman video game, and they actually have the original Mario playing that game, and he does the woohoo and all that stuff right there in the thing. And you know, there's because they even had the comment on the you know, do you think the accents were a little too much? And he's like, no, I think they were perfect.
I like that. Yeah.
See,
I like they're hanging a lantern on it. They're like, oh, you know, the accents, blah, blah, blah. They're like,
but
yeah,
again,
we're
and I have nothing against Chris Pratt. In fact, he's probably one of my most favorite newer actors of the newer generation. He doesn't need to be in everything. And I think they really need to get past this.
Though.
He
what
is,
he
though.
In? What is he in?
He's doing the voice of this. He's doing the voice of Garfield. Jurassic World, freaking Lego movie he did a voice for. I mean,
Garfield hasn't been out. They're old movies now, man.
No, the new Garfield coming. He's playing Garfield in the new Garfield.
Oh, when's that? I didn't. There's another Garfield?
Yeah, they're doing a new Garfield. Yes. And
Chris Pratt is doing the voice.
Yes. So like but it's just a matter of like why Jack Black was fine. Because you know, why couldn't have he been the highlight of the you don't need a bunch of big name actors, just get people who the video game people would have been fine. You know,
no,
but I think
you do need big name actors. We spoke about this before. You do need names.
Little Mermaid didn't.
No, Javier Bardem. Yeah, you do.
No, I'm talking about the original Little Mermaid.
Yeah, but that's not. But that's just an animation. Current day stuff.
Mario is your star though.
So big. No, but it doesn't matter. You need name power behind it to get people to invest in the product. You do. You just do. Like that's par for the course these days. But it has done incredibly well, hasn't it? Because we've got what $26 million debut
on a Wednesday.
Is that just domestic as well? Because if that's just domestic,
that's just. I think that's just domestic.
Staggeringly high.
I don't know where they're getting this 128 million from. It's going to be more than that.
It's going to be way more than that.
I'm going to double check that's just domestic. If it's global, it makes more sense.
No, it is that is just domestic because this 128 million they were quoting 125 million domestic and over like 250 million worldwide. So this would have to be a domestic debut. That's insanely good.
That's crazy.
That is so bloody good.
Yeah,
absolutely outrageous.
So to date, to the moment we're speaking, the domestic box office was 31.7 million. International box office was 34.7 million. Worldwide box office to date is $66.4 million. Then they're saying it's going to make 225. I'm like, you guys are smoking it. It's going to be doing better than that even globally. Can't wait.
But this is the thing, because everyone talking about this, all of the main people doing these kind of videos, not videos, the articles and stuff, they're the ones that bloody hate it. 54% Rotten Tomatoes, and then the audience is lapping it up. They absolutely love this film. We said this before, didn't we? We said about how there's such a big disparity between the two. This will be one of those. It's just, it's madness, absolute madness. I don't understand like what these people. I mean, we're going to get to that in a minute. Spoiler, don't spoil it for anyone. We've got a very hilarious section coming up.
I'm not saying anything.
You guys are going to love this.
I'm not saying a word.
But this is staggeringly. We got Nick dropping in here. But you haven't watched Mario, have you, buddy?
I have not. I'm actually going to see it next Thursday with Valiant
next week. You're going to go.
Spoilers: Mario is Maria by the end of the film.
I'm not going to have time between now and before I go out of town. I got an event that I'm going to in Houston.
Wait, Nick. Is it because you're too busy with chill streams?
No. we only got one chill stream, and that's tonight.
Well, there you go. Spoiler alert for later, ladies and gents. He's got a chill stream. But is this a surprise to you, Nick? Just getting you in here real quick. 54% right. You have not even seen the film, but is this a surprise to you from an outside perspective? I think it's just, it's good to get that.
The audience score is not a surprise to me at all. The critic score is kind of a surprise to me. I don't know why.
I know why.
Everyone seems to hate Chris Pratt for some weird reason.
That's part of it. But the
Pratt.
bigger part of this, Nate, you know why it is because it's not woke. That's why.
So this is the other thing,
the main
right?
thing. And there's another reason we'll get into in just a few minutes, like you said.
There is literally no message in this film at all. And one of the main take homes from everyone that didn't like this film was like, there's no plot. Doesn't need to be a plot. It's Super Mario. It needs to be. It's a child. It's a PG. You're not going to teach. I don't want to. Teach a child about politics and gender drivel nonsense. For goodness sake, just tell them it's just. I don't know. There's no message. It's just wholesome goodness and fun. And they're like, oh, there's no plot. There's nothing. There's no substance to it. They're not teaching me something. Fuck off. Don't need to teach you anything, mate. God,
you're too old to be taught anything, to be honest with you.
You have a female politician who's actually a princess, and she doesn't do anything woke for her kingdom.
Sure,
it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's absolutely brilliant. Such a good film.
And again, I mean, it is exactly what you say, except that there was a little bit of a message in it. There was a family message to it that nobody's talking about.
Self-belief, wholesome family values. Trying to prove yourself.
Does Japan buy into the?
No, Japan famously fucking hates it.
Yeah, okay.
They absolutely hate it. I literally can't stress that enough. They check out from everything like this.
Well, give us more Nintendo, and it's going to do great over here.
Okay, here's the specific main reason why. And I'm not going to try to get into too deep of spoilers, but it has nothing to do, because people are saying it has to do with Koopa wanting to kidnap Princess Peach. That part is somewhat true, but the reason they're freaking out isn't that. It's because he loves her. He wants to marry her. That's why they are saying it's basically like he's a stalker, and then the Me Too movement kind of thing. Yeah. Anyway.
Goodness me. Honestly, these people are
it's funnier than it sounds, Nick. Trust me.
Oh, mate, Nick, we've got the best. The next segment on this is the best one ever. You're gonna have so much fun.
You will.
Honestly, everyone in the chat. You are going to want to do your super chats, because this is where you're going to really want to join in the conversation. Speaking of which, we've got Al Humphreys for a £5 super stickers. Thank you so much. And it's a pair holding out his belly, laughing. So thank you so much. Do appreciate that, bud. Massive, contributes to the channel hugely.
Thank you very much, Al.
So, if you want to join the channel, become a member, become a Patreon. I am trying to encourage people to become patrons more than members. And I only say that because I actually get more money from patrons. The percentage rate is better. Yeah. So you, obviously, subscribing and giving your money away, I get more of it from Patreon. I understand people don't like Patreon, but I'm just telling you the reason why I say Patreon's better for me.
You want to give it to Nate, or do you want to give it to Google?
Well, yeah, that is literally it, isn't it?
Yeah, fair point.
We've got a members and patron only stream after this one as well. So we got Obama Grad for $10 says, I've noticed a trend of reviewers on both sides being personally offended at the very thought of a movie being popular and or successful. They take any chance to throw shade and badmouth it. Yeah. The thing is, 100%, 100%, because there were people coming out before this movie release going, Peach is a fucking girl boss. It's woke. It's like, mate, have you ever played Super Smash Brothers? Peach is a badass bitch in that. Come on now. Like no unit. Like I'm the most rudimentary Nintendo fan out there, but even I know she's a badass sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, for goodness sake, come on.
Yeah.
Like we've seen her kick ass. Let her kick ass. There's nothing wrong with it. And there's also nothing wrong with showing a strong female. some of the best films of all time have got strong female characters.
Kill Bill.
Aliens. Yeah, Kill Bill. You got bloody Terminator 2, for instance.
Yeah.
You don't need to, you don't need Cry a River just because a woman is flexing her attitude. All right, it's okay. Now the thing
Most
is,
of it is stuff we've seen in the trailers. Yeah,
I understand being hypersensitive to this stuff, but when it reveals itself to be fine, own it and go, nah, it's nothing. There's nothing bad about it. It's great. Yeah, she kicks ass. Nothing woke. It's all good. Yeah. What were you saying? Sorry, Tom. I just want to.
No, I said the worst of it's probably in the trailers. The only line that really bothered me was that one line when she's like, "I got it right the first time" or whatever. But like, that was just kind of a joke, toss away, whatever.
Yeah.
Like she does not succeed right away. There's points where
she fails.
She fails miserably.
She has to go to the Kongs for help because she's
well, and she fucks that all up too.
Yeah,
exactly.
Without getting too deep into spoilers.
Yeah,
but like no. Overall, like I think that's the main thing that's hitting these critics is that you have the whole thing with Peach and Koopa or Bowser. Actually, sorry, I keep calling him Koopa. But and I think that's where they're hung up on that thing.
Sorry. Whose musical box just opened?
That was my.
That was what?
That was my alarm for the old show when you used to start at 3.
Yeah,
that was your alarm, was it? That sounded like you got like a little ballerina, a little musical box going around.
Tom's jewelry box.
Jewelry box.
Where else would I keep the rings?
No, my.
I did want to tell. I did want to tell Bama grad real quick. War Eagle, buddy. War Eagle.
Oh no! Roll Tide, Nick.
No, War
Roll
Eagle.
Tide.
Teague for $2 says, "Is seeing a movie in Omnimax or IMAX worth it?"
Maybe.
I don't know what Omnimax is. IMAX, yeah, like it is worth it. It's the biggest screen you can watch it on. If the film is a visual feast and an auditory feast, like a film should be, then yeah, IMAX is worth it. I always like an IMAX. IMAX is great.
I usually only recommend them when you have big pieces like this, and especially in a film that's built for 3D. This would be one of those times if you have IMAX 3D opportunity, I would say spend the extra $2 or $4 or whatever it is, because it's really built for it, and the music was really made for it. It's very and there's so much stuff in here, fan service, rather, lots of Easter eggs, things that you're going to go, wait, I played that map. Oh, I remember that, and then you're going to hear the audio, the music that goes with the thing that you're associating it with, and it's just wow. It's
it's brilliant. So,
I saw it in 3D, but I wouldn't say you have to.
No.
I think you'll enjoy it just fine on a regular screen too.
I didn't watch it in 3D, and I had a great time. But it was a big screen. This is what I mean. Like IMAX, if you can just watch it in IMAX, absolutely,
even better than
How's the 3D on it, Tom?
Honestly, I mean, Culture seems a bit more hot on it than I am because I'm actually a 3D fan. This one I would actually put on the lower end of the 3D scale. Like,
wow.
There's not that much that pops out at the screen. Like the biggest thing that popped out of the screen was the logo at the end. Like, was finally when something seemingly popped out of the screen.
I saw plenty of depth in
there was depth, but there was nothing really. They didn't utilize the 3D like the way the Minions movies and stuff did. Like I love the ending of whichever one it was, the second one where they're like reaching out on that stupid thing where they're going off on the end of the thing, that pole. That isn't for anything other than for the 3D audience, because unless you're seeing it in 3D, you don't get the joke. Because they're like reaching out of the screen at the audience and stuff. It's kind of fun.
Well, but it's built like, for example, I saw the stuff in the Darklands, right?
That stuff was cool, but
but you could see the planar effect in place, that they'd really built it up. But again, I guess for me, I can see more depth in 3D than I guess some people can, and I really enjoy that, especially when I'm not wearing my my glasses so I can read. Put on those, I put on my little 3D.
I generally rate it by how much stuff is actually coming out of the screen compared to what they're just using it as like a looking through a window. And when it comes to this movie, it was like 80% of it was looking through a window.
That's true. But it does. Yeah. I still think it's better.
You'll enjoy it if you like 3D, but it's not a necessity, is what I'm saying.
Just to throw a curveball in that, Headcase Laboratory for $1.99 says they saw it in Dolby and really loved it.
Yeah.
So,
I bet that would really make the colors pop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but best screen possible. You'll have a great time. However, we're going to move on now to our next topic. So again, this is the one you definitely want to do your super chats to. I swear to
you're gonna
goodness me, you're going to love this.
Yes,
ladies and gents,
good story.
we're going to spend some time checking out our favorite reviewers' review of Super Mario Brothers. Can you guess who our favorite reviewer is? Nick, I don't know if you know. Do you know who our favorite reviewer is?
Ryan Kennel.
No.
I have no clue. Andre.
Fucking no. Our favorite reviewer, ladies and gents.
So, if it's not Scotty Mendelson,
someone like that.
Grace Randolph.
Exactly, because
we should have said professional, but yeah, we're all professionals here.
I watched 6 minutes of this review, ladies and gents, and it's the most cope-ridden shit I've ever seen in my life. And she even like dropped stuff in the comments going, well, other people don't like it, so I'm definitely right. It's like, no, love. 100% you're not. 100% you're not. Loads of people are like, yeah, so yeah, everyone's like, yeah, Grace. So yeah, our next we'll just get to these super chats first. So Bambino for $9.99 says it was a fun movie to see with my boys. They loved it, and I loved the use of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Yeah. Oh, they incorporate the Super Show?
This movie
remember that trailer?
Great for everyone.
Yeah,
it is great.
Where they showed the advertisement.
Everyone.
Oh,
yeah, they use it in the ad.
Okay.
No, again, I think some people are overselling it a bit. And maybe that's why I'm kind of pushing back a little bit more. It's I'm not saying it sucked, but I'm just saying people I don't want to oversell this movie either to people. Like, I don't want people going in and going, oh, these guys were saying it was fucking amazing. This is like a best of 6 or 7 out of 10.
That's kind of where I did with The Last Jedi to me.
I'm happy to sit here and say if you've got a family, this will be one of the best family movies you watch this year, if not the best family movie you watch this year. 100%. This movie is catered so expertly, perfectly for a family day out. 100%. It's an hour and a half. Your kids won't get fidgety. They won't get annoyed. They'll be engaged. The colors are there. The vibrancy's there in the acting.
Callbacks to all the games and stuff are there.
And then you'll go home and you'll play Mario Kart and you'll have a great time. This is the best family movie of the year. I'm happy to stake that claim out there. And it's not overselling it. Look, it's not my best movie of the year. But if you've got a family, this will be the best movie you, as a group, go and watch this year.
I would agree. It's probably the best.
It will be
best family movie so far this year. I mean, and this might lead well into our next segment here because, look, I haven't actually played a Mario game since Super Mario World. Like, I'm not really up to speed, and I've only ever beat the first Mario game in Mario 3. Yeah. I don't know all these games. I've never played Luigi's Mansion. I've never played Wario or any of those other games, but I could pick out some of the Easter eggs in this movie without ever even playing some of those games. I knew exactly what they were, trying to make fun of, not make fun of, but make callbacks to, or whatever. Reference. And that's just vicariously through the world, right? Like, but there's some people that are so dense they clearly haven't even picked up on any of that. I don't know.
No. We'll get to that. So Mr. Esk for $20 says, thank you so much for your contributions, dude. And everyone, thank you so much for your contributions. It goes such a long way to helping the channel out, keeping the lights on, keeping this podcast going. If you are new to this podcast, we do this every Tuesday and Thursday. And you'll find a link in the description box to the second channel where the best bits go in separate videos, as well as the whole stream will go up there as well in its own playlist. So hit subscribe there. We're trying to get to 10,000 by the end of the year. We're getting close. So thank you so much. Super chats again. This is when you're going to want to do it, ladies and gents. We're going to take a look at Grace Randolph's review, and we're just going to start and stop it and have a laugh because it's everything wrong. It's everything wrong with. It's the perfect example of this 54%. That's what it says to me. It's the perfect example of that. So are we ready, ladies and gents? Just
Yes.
turn your volume down a little bit.
I turned it down a
pre-warn you.
little bit, but I can't help it with the shrill.
I haven't
yeah,
seen
that's what
this
I meant.
yet, so this should be entertaining.
Yeah, well, I tried to. I said to culture him not to watch it, and Tom, you haven't watched it either of you, I don't think.
No, but I know some of the highlights already because they've made their way onto
Mate.
Twitter. But
You ain't seen nothing yet. In its full context, it's amazing.
I can imagine with her ass.
Oh, goodness me! This movie's offensive. Did you know? It's offensive.
Yeah, this is what I was referring to earlier. We'll get into this. Yeah,
Super Mario Brothers is offensive.
That's what she
again,
says in this,
mate. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Oh my
so if you want to
God.
join in on this one, guys, super chats. This is going to be gold.
All right, here we go. Tell me when to pause, I guess.
So, wow! I'm kind of shocked at how bad this movie is. Universal knows, though. Universal knows, which is why the embargo is lifting mere hours before the movie premieres. I don't think this is going to make $1 billion. I think it might still have a big opening weekend. I don't even know if it's going to make it to Friday. I think word of mouth on this is going to be toxic. Whatever.
Pause it. Toxic. It's going to be toxic, ladies and gents. Just
What was
scroll
that
down
face
to
she
her
made?
first comment. Scroll down to her first comment, her pinned comment on her
hang
own
on.
video. Fuck me.
Hang
Oh
on.
my God. Look at this. There's the desperate cope. What does it say? What's her pinned comment say again?
The movie is currently rotten on Rotten Tomatoes with 51%, so it's just not me. There's not just me.
Yeah.
Definitely is.
Well, like Coolio,
amongst the
Coolio
critics,
Ames
amongst the
like-
critics, maybe.
which is
Exactly.
proof of why critics are ever so increasingly becoming out of touch.
Yeah,
She
100%.
thinks this movie won't even make it a Friday, ladies and gents.
Good Lord.
Had a 26 million Wednesday opening just domestic.
She's insane.
This is why I don't watch you anymore. Most Illumination movies have bad RT and then A- A+ on CinemaScore. It will probably open and make 300. Oh, it's going to do much more than that, my friend.
And here's the
Fat
thing.
Stevens got a comment on there as well, apparently.
Here's the
Of
thing. On
course he
Wednesday, on Wednesday, it only opened in 4,000 theaters domestically. Right? It's not even on its full. It's not even as fully wide as it's going to be. This chick is banana crazy, man. She's got
Mate, honestly.
All right, let's get
back
back into her bullshit. This goes on for a while.
Toxic
Jesus.
goo there is a Nintendo world that destroys stuff that it touches. So let me walk you through this, right? Because I know a lot of you aren't going to believe me, but I think you're going to be seeing a lot of bad reviews drop right now. And yeah, it's unfortunately true. Now, as I've mentioned before when discussing this movie, I don't play Nintendo games, right? Like I know who the characters are, well, like the big ones, but I'm certainly
Mario.
not a Nintendo fan. But you know, just like I say movies shouldn't require homework, this should be accessible to a non-Nintendo fan, especially if it wants to make $1 billion. But you know, I do love Illumination movies. I watch The Grinch every year. I love Illumination films. I think they're fantastic. And the trailers for this have been...
Well, right there's your problem. That's like the worst Illumination film ever. Was The Grinch.
It's also one of the oldest as well.
It's the only one I've ever shut off of theirs.
God.
And I liked
not
the
one of the oldest, yeah,
Lorax
you're
and
right,
Horton. Horton and Lorax were okay, but the Grinch one I shut off after about 10 minutes. I'm like,
It's amazing that she actually thinks there's going to be a whole lot of the thing she references is she references the embargo. There's nothing to embargo. That's why it was only a day before you dunce. Because there's literally nothing to embargo. There's nothing to spoil, you bellend.
But she's also lacking context in that, because originally this was going to only release early in China. They moved the date in domestically and globally to the 5th to all align, because before
that is
we
true.
weren't gonna get it for 2 days after. We weren't going to get it until today, or I guess late tonight. So she's very, this is disingenuous, lacking context kind of a thing.
Yeah, because it was going to be Friday for me in the UK, and then they bumped it up to Wednesday for the whole Easter weekend because they're confident in it.
Yes,
obviously. Anyway, let's.
I think $26 million in preview screenings is pretty damn good.
Been very bright and fun. Plus, I've been really getting into Universal Studios Super Nintendo World. Like, I haven't had a chance to go there, but I've watched all the videos.
How you getting into it then?
It looks like a good time. So I'm like, this seems
Pause.
fun. Everybody's so excited for.
This is the definition of like, oh, that's cool. This is popular. I like this thing too. No, you don't, you utter dunce.
I like current thing. I've seen pictures of this and videos. I'm going to want to go there. Yeah, this is a big problem that I find with her. She lacks credibility on so many things because she's not a fan of it. She's not been involved in it. She's not
a fan of anything. She's never a fan of anything.
She said beginning the video with, "I never played any
except for Marvel. She'll suck Marvel's dick all day long."
But I'm just,
oh yeah.
This is like, why are people listening to her anymore? Right? I mean, I unsubscribed from her like almost immediately because I'm like, I can't take.
I've never taken her seriously, dude.
I have no idea. We'll get to this because she talks about her press screening experience. So, ladies, just as an FYI, ladies and gents, I still get invites to press screenings. So I was actually doing a stream, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. I was invited to the UK premiere red carpet event, Leicester Square, of Dungeons & Dragons. I just sent someone else because I couldn't get there in time. I've got this commitment anyway. I still get invited to these things, but it's not actually important. And do you know why it's not important? And why you should never pay attention to people that really, and I mean really, hold it of high importance? Because they think it gives them relevancy. Being able to watch a movie 2 days before everyone else, it gives you no relevancy at all. And I've checked out like my views of a movie that I've reviewed before its release and a movie I've reviewed on its day of release. There's no fucking difference. There literally makes no difference at all. Your relevancy and your legitimacy is given to you by your audience. If your audience and you align, that's your legitimacy, that's your relevancy. But these people, her included especially, and everyone that she's talking about with her press screening, they hold themselves above everyone else, and they think that is what gives them the legitimacy. The studio gives them the legitimacy. It's not. It's you guys, the audience. Anyway, sorry, I just had to say that.
No, it's
true.
Totally correct.
Yeah, not wrong.
No, and that's part of what makes her the access media, right? So, yeah,
100% access media.
Yeah. But we better get into this before we haven't even been a minute into this
for this movie, right? And who doesn't love a party? I'm like, I want to be in here too, everybody, move over. So I was very excited for my press screening. I was like, oh boy. So there were about 40 of us in the basement of AMC Lincoln Square, and they gave us free snacks. Yummy. And it was very nice. I had a great seat, wasn't too crowded. I had like my space. I was set. I was like, oh boy. But then the movie started, and again, out of like 40 of us critics, it was a critics-only screening. The all media is tonight. It was a critics-only screening, and I would say out of 40, maybe 2 people were enjoying and laughing at the movie. They were having a good time, though. Maybe you're one of those 2. But the rest of us just sat there in stony silence, just waiting for the movie to end. You were like, oh, whew. I mean, I also was not only not enjoying it, but I was shocked that I couldn't get into the movie. I was like, how is this bad? I haven't had this hard a time watching a movie since DC Super Pets. I would describe both of these movies.
Okay, I actually didn't hate that movie either. Yeah, that was not as bad as some people said it was.
Well, she's like, oh, there's 40 people and only 2 people like the movie. Maybe you'll be those 2. Well, I tell you what, it goes to show, doesn't it? If you're looking at the Rotten Tomatoes score, you've got 54% of critics, 96%, audience rating. It goes to show that actually the 2% is the majority, in terms of the audience. Say, oh god. Anyway,
and she's trying to justify it, because the critics were seeing it the same way. These critics are also like completely out of touch lately. We've been talking about this, but anyway.
Yeah.
It's torture to sit through. Whew. And I like comic books. I like mythology. I get into stuff. I'm open to getting into new fandoms.
Pause it.
The fact that I was like, make it stop.
I like stuff. I get into stuff. I like comics. I'm a fan. I get into stuff. I like lore. Yeah.
I bet she doesn't own one comic book.
No, of course not. God, just the desperation.
Well, funnily enough, Nick, and this is part of the reason why she probably sucks Marvel's dick so much. Her claim to fame is she worked for Marvel for like a hot second in, I think, like the promotion department or some shit. Yeah. Like that's where she came from. Yeah.
Oh, who cares? God.
was pretty bad. Although I wanted to walk out of DC Super Pets, as I told you, and the only reason I stayed was because again, I'm reviewing it. I'd love to be able to say, hey, it gets really good. Narrator, it does not. And also the visuals here were pretty good. And I really like Anya Taylor-Joy's Princess Peach and Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong. So, it wasn't quite as bad as Super Pets, but it was close.
She likes Seth Rogen. That's all you need to know.
But speaking of the amazing visuals, Super Mario Brothers is available in 3D. And if you like 3D and you're willing to pay a couple extra bucks for it, you might want to consider it. Also, maybe as a safety net, because the movie's so bad, at least you'll have peak visuals. Particularly the Mario Kart sequences. When I was watching those, I was like, wow, I bet these would look pretty good in 3D. I mean, I think the movie's actually been made to be seen in 3D. I think they should be advertising that more. Like the rainbow road gets all swirly, and then the camera starts swirling, and you're like, oh, this is cool. And I did feel, I was like, oh, why aren't I watching this in 3D? Now, as I said, I've been able to get into other mythologies, but I just couldn't get into this movie despite being a ready and willing participant. I was like, come on, Nintendo World, indoctrinate me. So I thought about it, and I saw it last night, and I've been like, why couldn't I get into this movie? And this morning, eureka, it clicked, and I realized the problem.
Fucking commercial, that's the problem. Stupid. Just got to put one right there just to be a bitch. I know, right?
The Super Mario Brothers movie, this
she got her 2 cents out of us.
One, they did the live action one many years ago. But while this is supposed to be an origin story where Mario and Luigi do discover the Mushroom Kingdom for the very first time, I didn't even know it was called the Mushroom Kingdom. I had to look it up. It's not even made clear in the movie. But the movie is written for fans. Pause it.
It's not even made clear in the movie. Mario gets out of a tube, of a pipe, and hits mushrooms, and they eat lots of mushrooms.
Yeah, they even make it a point because he hates mushrooms.
I mean, how and everyone's a mushroom. All the toads have got mushrooms. How could you possibly not know that it's called the Mushroom Kingdom?
Doesn't she actually mention that once? Because isn't that where he goes, what is it with you guys and mushrooms? Or something like that.
Oh my god!
It's made very clear in dialogue in the film. Was she not paying attention?
You have to be the.
She is trying to make excuses to not like this movie. Is what she's doing. Because this idea that I don't understand the lore, or I couldn't get into it, bullshit. It's pretty fucking simple.
It's a child's film. How could you not understand the lore?
You touch the magic block, you get a special power. That's it. That's all you need to know.
Just how on earth? Oh, goodness me. Can you imagine Grace Randall's brain if this movie had a bigger plot? It would just melt and dissolve away. Right? Because she can't get into the lore. What if she had to follow a plot as well? Oh, my God. Jesus. Right, anyway, that's...
But and somebody in the chat calls us out. She actually says, indoctrinate me.
Yeah, well, it's that language, isn't it? It's that ideological language. Right, let's keep
how
going.
can she say there is no plot? The plot is pretty simple.
She's not very bright, Tom.
You have Princess Peach, who's trying to save the kingdom from the impending doom of Bowser, while Mario and Luigi get sucked into this world, and Luigi and him get separated, and Mario has to save his brother at the same time. How is that not a plot? I don't...
Oh, yeah. Honestly, don't ask.
And I didn't even get into more of it. There's more of a plot than that. I could expand, right? Like, that's just the basics.
My question is, does she really think this, or does she know what she's saying is wrong?
Who knows? Honestly, with this dumb...
She's trying to justify her stupidity, Nick, is what she's doing.
That's what it seems like to me.
Right, let's keep going.
Nothing is explained to the audience.
Yes, it
not
is.
The world,
Jesus
not
Christ.
the characters, not the circumstances, and not even really the point. Now, some of you might be like,
what did I just say?
I'm a fan, and I just want to get to it. I mean, there's nothing to get to, but... a good screenwriter, screenwriting, it's always been disrespected in Hollywood. But this is it's at its lowest point right now. Like a good screenwriter can make this fun for everyone, right? This is
You
like
just said
Nintendo
Hogarth.
Easter egg the movie, the opposite of Andor. This is just all Easter eggs. You just choke on them. It's too much candy. After a brief opening, which
Pause
is
it.
very illumination, it seems more.
How do you possibly know that it's full of Easter eggs if you don't know anything about the lore?
Yeah.
You don't know anything about Nintendo. You contradictory dumb fuck. Just that. Sorry, I just had to say that. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Right, let's keep going.
What's funny is she mentioned the 93 movie, and then now she's going to try to say the intro is all illumination. The intro is almost verbatim from the 93 movie.
Illumination in Nintendo, you could be watching a scene from Sing or Secret Life of Pets, quite frankly. But then after that, there's like no story. Well, and what little story they do have, I found a couple of things.
What are
One
you
was
talking about?
confusing. Like, why don't any of the other humans look like Mario and his family? And why is the human world super realistic and full of cartoon-looking characters?
What
I
is
was
she
like,
talking about?
What do you mean? Why do the other humans not look like Mario? Because they're genetically the same, you dickhead. Just like you don't look like me, you fucking spaz. Oh,
What is she even griping about? Like, we don't even see that many people. Okay, we don't even see that many people outside of the Mario family, right? There's a
Why
few,
don't they
but
look the
they're all
same?
exaggerated animated people, right? Like nobody
Tom.
looks like a human being.
Why don't you look like me, Tom?
Well, I get what you're saying, Nate, but like she's talking about just the way that they look as far as like nobody looks even
because they're
remotely like a
genetically the
human.
same.
Like
No,
the
no,
closest
She's literally saying, why do the other humans not look like Super Mario and his family? Because they're family.
Well, I'm just saying they're all exaggerated people. Everybody in the movie is.
But as far as the animation and the presentation of the characters, Mario, Luigi, all of his family members that are in, the New York boroughs, right, where they live, Spike, who's in the film right at the very beginning, all of them look the same. They have the same animation style, mesh setup, facial hair, all of that is exactly as it's supposed to be. There was only one additional human in this. It was the princess, and she was in the Mushroom Kingdom. So,
there's some ancillary people and stuff, but like they all are cartoony people.
And she went after the writing. And Matthew Fogel, who wrote this movie, also wrote Minions and a whole bunch of other award-winning films. Not only that, it was directed by Hogarth, who's been, one of the hottest things on the planet forever. Aaron Horvath, I always mispronounce his name. And, I'm staggered by what she's saying about this film. Just staggered.
She's so monumental. Anyway, look, she's monumentally stupid, but let's keep going with it.
That's weird. The animation, though, again, is stunning. And some of the backgrounds in the human world looked almost real. But again, that was so bizarre that there were cartoons running around in there. Back to the story, I would also say it's a little disturbing. Because apparently in the games, Bowser, I had to look it up, Bowser is obsessed with Princess Peach. And has
for
been
fuck's sake.
for a very long time. But in today's marketplace, post-Me Too, to hear Bowser declare that he's going to ask Princess Peach to marry him, which apparently isn't a spoiler, because I looked it up and it happened.
God forbid he just asked her to marry him.
Yeah,
Post
now
Me Too,
Bowser's
no,
getting Me Too'd.
It's this part. It's this part. Post Me Too. This part's the bad stuff. Play it.
Peach to marry him, which apparently isn't a spoiler because I looked it up and it happens in the games all the time. But he's like, I'm going to ask Princess Peach to marry me. And like his little sycophant sorcerer is like, what if she doesn't want to? And he's like, then I'll destroy her kingdom and kill everyone she knows. And you're like, wow, that's stalker behavior. And
maybe that's a villain, you dumb bitch! Jesus fucking Christ! I'm sorry, but oh my God, are these people that fucking retarded?
Oh, honestly. It's just
Clueless.
So we're gonna get some of you guys involved in this just now. So
I apologize for everybody for screaming there, but oh my fucking God, that's what a villain is! Holy shit!
Honestly.
He's not a very nice guy. Don't go see this movie.
Yeah, post Me Too. You can't have villains. Yeah. Doug VA loves horror for $1.99 says everybody share this stream to a Twitter page. She's already blocked me, so I can't. I've never even interacted with her, but she blocked me. Mr. Reborn for 20 something. The HQ is she on about? It's 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. mate. Honestly, who knows? This we've perfectly exemplified how stupid this woman actually is. Pilgrim Media, Tom, what happened today?
This.
Oh, goodness me.
Yeah, Valerian's right. Her review of Darth Vader would have been like, he is so rude.
He choked someone. It's me too. Israel R for $10 says when she states that it doesn't appeal to a broad audience, it means appealing to her view and ego. Her use of that word indoctrinate sends shivers down the spine. Honestly, yes. And thank you so much again. If you want to join in the conversation, I knew you guys would want to on this section because this is gold.
Right, and that's the thing. I mean, that language is there. It's in their minds. They can't escape it. They are all indoctrinated into this cult. They are monoculture. They are.
And this is why I got so like passionate there at the moment, because I've been screaming this for a while that this is what's wrong with the writers, and it's being reflected here in this critic, right? They don't understand the fundamentals of what makes a villain and a hero a hero. They are so muddied in their morals and in their life that they don't fundamentally understand at the end of the day. That's what's scary about these folks.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah. Well, no, you're right. Magitech here for $5 says Grace Randolph, indoctrinate me, baby.
I just tweeted at Grace Randolph's on her thing with a link to this stream right now, saying we are reacting to her review of this.
You're gonna get blocked, mate.
Totally.
Indoctrinate me harder, baby.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Esquire for $20 says so a creep is the bad guy. Yeah, exactly.
I know, right? God forbid.
Exactly. Yeah, literally. Magitech Mags $5 says wait, so a villain is actually a villain here? Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. Like, what is she expecting? Oh, look, a villain. How dare you?
How dare you?
It's just, exactly. What is
Even
she
Dennis
expecting?
Hopper's version was less of a villain.
Honestly.
To be honest with you.
But I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, first of all, there's low-key violence in this because it's a family film.
Very low-key, yeah.
Second, they don't even play Bowser off as a complete villain. They play him off as doing bad things and making bad choices.
Love struck.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean,
more or less just stupid. Yeah.
What's your point? You know, other than you have admitted all along the way, you have no connection with any of this.
You know what else is probably bothering her? What is everybody's number one praise about this movie, guys? What if we all said unanimously across the board? Jack Black puts in the best performance in this movie, and Bowser is probably the best character at the end of the day when you think about it, because he's the most surprising element of the movie, because you're like, it's Bowser. You don't expect to like him, but you end up liking and you don't like him because he's, what he's doing, but you like how they've done it, right? They are very clever in how they present his motivations. Well, I forgot there is no plot. I'm sorry.
There is a plot.
Let's get back into it because we're barely into this. We need to get into it.
It kind of makes this not appropriate for children, quite frankly.
Oh, for Lord's sake.
In fact, I would argue that most of the movie is about who's going to date Princess Peach. And that's it. My jaw was on the floor. I'm like, is that really what this movie is about? That is a really outdated story. I think fans and just movie.
Hold up. It's only about that to Bowser and Bowser only.
Well, a little bit of Mario, but barely.
Very little. Very little.
They hardly touch on that. It's about
till the end. They tease it at the end.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I'm like, chick, she does not get it. And that's the biggest problem I think here. She's really being disingenuous in her analysis of this.
I don't see her getting upset about Princess Peach belittling Mario about his diminutive size.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Yeah. That wasn't it.
Yeah, she is very, she's always been hypocritical. I mean, you just watch her and she's always been wrong. I mean, there are a few times she's been correct on things. But what I loved at the beginning of this, and I'll just add to this pile, and then I'm sure we can continue on, but her box office prediction that the film would be over by Friday.
I know. Oh my God. What an idiot. It won't reach $1 billion. It won't reach.
We're almost halfway through this.
And I want to say, Mr. Esquire, for to respond real quick. Yes, the creep is the bad guy. The creep is the bad guy.
Yeah. God
Who would have
forbid.
guessed? Who would have guessed? Surprise, surprise.
I know.
Right,
You know what? In the next one, they need to show him sniffing people's hair.
That's shit.
Moviegoers in general, and everybody associated with this film deserve more. And it's a shame because Jack Black does a fantastic job as Bowser. You can't even recognize that it's Jack Black's voice. Then Bowser sings, and you're like, "Oh yeah, he's voiced by Jack Black." And you still can't tell that it's Jack Black. And I think that the talent is definitely here. It's really just the script.
Wait a minute.
Jack Black was fantastic.
Rewind what you just said.
Also, in an effort to move away from
rewind what you just said. You can't tell.
The talent is definitely here. It's really just the script.
Just pause it.
You can't tell that it's Jack Black. And then he sings, and then you're like, oh, it's definitely Jack Black. But even then, you can't. Like, what the hell did you think about what you just said before you said it?
No, of course not. The brain never engages a single syllable of what she utters.
You can tell it's Jack Black, but it's probably one of his best performances ever.
But she contradicts herself twice in the same like 10 seconds of dialogue.
No, honestly.
So Jack Black had one of his best performances ever this week, and one of his worst performances.
Oh yeah.
We're not going
to get into that, but just saying.
Right. Let's keep going.
So Jack Black was fantastic. Also, in an effort to move away from speaking of disturbing, I would also classify this movie as a little offensive because instead of doing the Italian accents, ironically, because they were worried about being offensive, instead they decided to give everyone a variation of a New York accent, which again, I found kind of offensive. It's like everyone's either in Goodfellas or a Woody Allen movie. And not just in the New York scenes, by the way. Mario and Luigi live in New York City. But you're like, when you get to the Mushroom Kingdom, Donkey Kong Land is the same way. And so you're just kind of like,
okay, hold up. It's funny she mentions that, but she doesn't mention the fact that they're basically all voiced by Jewish people. But anyway.
Make that choice. Like, why do you think that's somehow not offensive and the Italian thing would be? It's just crazy.
Hurry, call the sensitive police.
Heavily on classic
I know, right?
songs,
like, we stop and think about it too
Guardians
much.
of the Galaxy.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Grace.
Oh,
Jesus.
Mute it.
And she doesn't even put in the skippable ads.
I know.
YouTube Premium.
But that's the thing, right? Like, she's talking about it being offensive. I mean, how is it remotely offensive? How? It's offensive because they do a Brooklyn accent. That's what it is, isn't it?
And sometimes it gets your blood pumping. It's not a bad strategy. But here it's very poorly executed. Like everything, just when you're like, okay, now we're cooking, it peters out. And they're like, okay, we're done. And you're like, oh, you promised me a fun jam. Like when they start to make the Mario Karts and one of the Kongs is like puts on his shades and he's like, what do you want me to do for you? But he just says it with a nod and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. And it seems like it's going to be awesome. The music starts, they turn up the volume and then they're done. And I was like, I guess if you've ever built your own Mario Kart, you'd be like, oh, cool, it's just like the game. But as someone who has never built a Mario Kart, I still have not had the pleasure of the experience.
Oh my God! Can you say that any more annoying?
She is always a delight as an actress on screen, but it turns out she has a great voice for animation as well, and she's a great sport.
She's the one that came off the most generic to me. Like anybody could have voiced her at this point. Like I did not.
Oh, I thought she did well.
She did fine, right? Like I didn't notice it was anybody famous. Like that's the one that didn't bother me because I've seen her in a ton of movies, but her voice didn't stand out to me as anything out of the ordinary.
I thought she did a really good job. Oh, it was
fine.
She did. Who is that? Who does the voice for her?
It's Anna Taylor-Joy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just a few super chats real quick. So if you want to support, you want to chime in on this nonsense of a bloody segment, super chats. Tom working for $2 says, let's nerf villains like Caligula, Pol Pot.
Oh no, Tom working.
Oh. Honestly.
I want to see her.
He was Italian, right?
You know what's funny though?
Can't have any villains these days.
She says that she doesn't understand all the motivations and all this shit. I want to see her explain to me the motivations of Baron Zevon.
There you go.
Yeah. Mecha J for $5 says, Grace is an example of letting the wokeness dictate her critiques on any piece of media and make herself look like a complete fool.
that.
Absolutely.
I think the more I'm listening to this,
100%.
I think it's not the movie she wanted. That's really what it is.
Exactly. 100%. The thing is that like, I'm almost left speechless at the stupidity here. I really am.
She has terrible takes. I mean,
they're the worst. They're
Yeah.
the absolute worst. Tommy reviews. In other news, water is wet. Grace, shocked face. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Yes.
Magistrate Mags for $5 says, I'm a woman and a blonde. I swear we aren't all like this.
We
I
know
called her out
Mags.
for being disingenuous for a bad take and a simp. Said I was bullying. Yeah, honestly, this... No, like, because we've done like a video on
you
Grace
bully
before.
Mags. Mags is such a bully.
We've done a video on Grace before, and I had so many shitty comments from her dick sucking simps that drop by her channel. Fuck right off. I hate them so much.
Well, Mags is on
They are
toxic.
as stupid. They are as stupid as she is.
And she's one of the most sweetest, nicest people I've ever met. Like, yeah, a bully.
Right.
She's a bully.
Stop bullying people. Come on.
Mags is a super bully.
Super bully.
Right. We got a few more. Let's keep going. We're almost there.
Premiere for the movie. Princess Peach, a variation on Princess Peach's Mario Kart outfit. I thought that was great. I am a little tired, though, of girl power for the sake of girl power characters. Like, if you're not going to fully develop them, I just get frustrated because I know certain groups are going to complain. And, you know...
What certain groups is
that? You should have
that?
Justification for things. It's like, if you're not going to do it right, don't do it.
Sorry,
again,
pause. Sorry,
girl
pause.
power.
Go back by 10 seconds.
I think she just lost her own fucking train of thought there.
You can literally just... To go back 5 seconds, you just use the arrows. Right? Oh. The arrows on the keyboard. So right. just play now and put...
If you're not going to fully develop them, I just get frustrated because I know certain groups are going to complain. And you know,
groups,
right? You should have justification for things.
Pause
it's
it.
Like if you're not going to do it right, don't do it.
This part.
Didn't you you should have justifications for things? Didn't you fucking love Rey from the new Star Wars movies? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Justifications for things. Girl power for girl power's sake. Fuck off, Grace. Yes. You absolute butthole. What are you talking about? Oh my god.
I don't even know what she's saying because, like, throughout the film, I mean, we see Princess. She's got to make all these decisions. She has to execute these decisions. She has to live with the consequences one way or the other with these decisions.
Oh, mate.
I'm not understanding where the fuck she's coming from.
I don't know if she even understand that I don't think she knew what she said there. I think that
I think she lost herself in her own argument there. Yeah,
she drifted off halfway through what she was saying and then woke up and was like, "Oh shit, what did I just say?"
Can't have girl power for girl power's sake. It has to be fully developed. Yeah, all right. Fuck off. Well, we'll remember this one, Grace.
What about the fact that she was just made a princess because she was a girl? That's pretty much the reason.
If this thing does $1 billion, I wonder if she will have any response to that at all, or if she's gonna just sweep it under the rug and be like, no comment.
Of course.
I'm going to play a clip. When this thing hits $1 billion, I'm going to play a clip of her saying her ridiculousness about the box office. I may make an entire video of that out of that. I think everybody's channel is going to make a video out of dumb things Grace says.
Yeah. Right. Keep playing now.
And again, she's all girl power, but yet the movie is just about who she's going to date. She's a princess in name only. I didn't see her make any rules or control the kingdom or anything.
What?
You know?
She's the what?
She literally says evacuate the kingdom. They evacuate. Yeah. She literally says we're gonna go do this, so they go do this.
Yeah.
It's not all about who she's gonna date, you absolute spaz. It's about her protecting her kingdom. Oh my god.
This is just revenge for us bitching about all their fucking woke bullshit. That's all this is.
She says we didn't see her make any rules. Yes, we did. She literally controlled her kingdom. We saw her tell her
she even dictates whether or not Mario gets to go.
Yes. Or Toad, for that matter.
Well, Toad just kind of like, he just kind of.
This makes no sense. She's speaking nonsense.
Right, keep playing.
She just kind of went on a date with Mario, and Bowser was really jealous about it. And you're like, is this really what this movie is about?
When was this supposed date?
Keegan-Michael Key's voice is also unrecognizable as Toad, which is a shame. I love Keegan-Michael Key. But Toad is adorable, and he serves as a good
I didn't even know he was the one who did the voice, so that's fine by me. He did fine.
That's good. That's what
for his new restaurant at Universal Studios. In fact, I wish he'd done more cooking. I was like, oh, that's why he has a
restaurant. To be honest, you know what was funny is I kept thinking Charlie Day did his voice too in the movie. I'm like, wait a minute here.
Charlie Day was very talented. I mean,
he was fine as Luigi. Yeah, he was pretty much pitch perfect. But anyway.
That's great. That's awesome. What are you making? There was one quick moment where by the way, I can't do a spoiler review for this movie because I still can't really tell you what happened in it.
Thank you. All right. So when she just went on a little diatribe about him cooking in this restaurant and everything else. That's all Hollywood. She's talking to Hollywood. She's not talking to an audience. She's talking to Hollywood. You know, because like, you know, what's the latest restaurant? What's the latest thing? Who's doing this? Who's doing that?
Yeah.
That's the talk of the town.
It's the next cool thing. That's all it is.
Exactly.
And I'm part of the cool thing. Please. Right. Press.
We
press
are all
space
beneath her.
Again.
But there was like one distraction, and I felt like they didn't even do that right. I was like, tell them that there's good food back there, Mario. Why do you be like, hey, he's cooking up something back there? I was like, that's clearly the move. Mm-hmm. All right, so speaking of Mario, how's Chris Pratt? Everybody wants to know, how's Chris Pratt? Well, he's doing a thick New York accent, so he doesn't sound too much like Chris Pratt. I mean, occasionally you're like, there he is. And Chris Pratt, by the way, outside of the controversy that surrounds him, he's a very good actor, a very likable actor.
What controversy other than the bullshit y'all create in your minds? But anyway.
He does a good job in that regard with, the emotion and all that stuff. He certainly is able to deliver in that capacity. But again, the script is so awful. Mario and Luigi's relationship just seems really forced. It's like screenwriter Matthew Fogel would never work again.
They're brothers.
Shut the fuck up. They're brothers. We literally see a flashback to Mario protecting him. Mario protects him in modern day. It's there. He says, together, we're always safe. We'll be blah, blah, blah. It's developed. It's fine. They're brothers. We don't need to know anymore.
It is one of the consistent things with the Mario brothers, right? Mario's always been the bigger brother.
Oh, my God. This woman is so monumentally
She wasn't watching the movie. She was talking to somebody during the movie. There's no way you can get this much wrong
during the whole thing.
Yeah,
it's pretty clear the love that Mario has for Luigi and vice versa in the movie. Like, because you even see that in the family scenes. Like, they're kind of not the outcasts per se, but like they keep dumping on Mario and they keep blaming him for dragging Luigi down with him, kind of thing.
But there's no way she watched the same movie we did. There's no way she even watched the movie. She understands the beats, but flip, man.
She wasn't paying attention.
No, I don't even think she understands the beats, dude. I think she only understands what she read on Wikipedia.
Well, he's done a couple of stuff for Illumination. That's about it.
A couple of
It's like he saw Frozen and decided to do the male version of Elsa and Anna, but none of the work to make it work. And since they insisted on putting Mario in the real world, so to speak, why do he and Luigi wear those funny outfits and gloves? I was like, you guys look ridiculous.
What was it?
I mean, none of it made sense.
They actually explain that in the movie.
They talk about it in the film.
It's literally said there at the dinner table, for fuck's sake.
Within the first 15 minutes, yeah.
This woman, just ladies and gents, this woman did not watch the movie or pay attention remotely. Right? She was too busy stuffing her face full of the snacks.
And let's be real, part of that's part of the joke, right? Like, they're making fun of these things.
Yeah.
She's totally unaware of this shit.
She took the talking points, Tom. She took the talking points and wrote a review based on talking points and nothing else.
Yeah. Tom, you got to learn to press the space bar, mate, not use the mouse. All right?
The movie made sense, so it was hard for me to get into any of it. Speaking of Mario and Luigi, though, Charles Martinet, he had a nice cameo. He is the OG and current voice of Mario and Luigi in the games, and a lot of fans were disappointed he's not voicing them here. But even I was like, oh, that's Charles Martinet. That's awesome. And I think
How
it was a
would you
very
know
nice thing
that?
to do for him. He showed up, I think, twice. He showed up like twice. Very,
Somebody
very
told her
briefly,
that.
but it was cute. Even the action sequences aren't that exciting. There's like no suspense. It's just like, oh, hey, look, it's like the game. But you never really feel like you're running any of the gauntlets yourself. You still look like you're.
You just complained that it was too mature for kids because of Bowser and Me Too movement, and now you're saying the action sequences there's not enough suspense. It's just like the games.
Honestly, I would say the
the
Luigi sequence is probably the scariest sequence in the movie.
Yes.
With the zombie Koopas and shit.
Yeah.
Like that's the only scene I would warn parents about for like younger kids.
That's why it's PG.
And it's played off with humor so that most of them can get through it.
Well, that last shot is pretty. Like that even made me jump.
Yeah.
With the no face dudes.
Yeah.
I nobody convinced me that she watched this film now.
No, it legitimately sounds like she didn't watch the film at all.
I don't think so.
Anyway, that's
watching the game screen instead of being put into the action. That's the whole benefit of making it a movie. And then when could Mario turn into a cat?
This is the best part.
I guess like if you're into furries, that works. And maybe that'll play really well in Asian markets. I know they love cats over there, like love cats. But I just felt it robbed Mario.
Oh, Lord.
Well, if that so you're complaining about offensive stereotypical accents, and now you're saying, well, they love cats in Asia, so this will be great in Asia. Are you fucking for real, you hypocrite?
Tanuki Mario and shit have been around since probably before she was fucking born. What the fuck, lady? Jesus Christ!
I am like. Let's get us some super chats real quick. Again, if you want to chime in, get your comments in, super chats. Magitech Mags for $5 says a good reference as to why critics are out of touch with the audience. Compare Netflix Cooties Rotten Tomato score, avoiding full name, to Mario Rotten Tomato current score. Yeah, so Cuties basically. Yeah. Jarrett Dotio for $5 says I swear her reviews are scripted, and she gets off into weird tangents that contradicts her script.
I think you're right. I think you're 100% correct.
You are 100% correct there.
Yes.
Wait till you get to plumber's outfits take she does. Yeah, so we've done that. Well, sorry.
For Christ's sake, you don't know what overalls are?
But they just explained it. They explain it in the movie.
Well, the overalls aren't the problem either.
I know. Well, they even say about the gloves. They're like, well, we've got to have it's like a trademark. You know, they comment on, oh, fuck goodness. Israel R for $5 says justification to whom does creativity need justification for certain groups now? This person's review is killing brain cells with the wokeness. But they say, you know, woke mind rot. I mean, this is it.
This is it, and she's suffering from it.
Full display. Magitech Mags for $5 says, oh my god, a positive brother family interaction. How dare you?
Yes,
pretty much.
Well, even him and Kong like relate over a family situation, right? Like, I mean,
yes, about their dads, yeah. Tom Working for $2 says Bob Hoskins, not Italian or New Yorker,
and he was the best Mario ever,
right?
No. Magitech Mags $5 says, oh my god, a video game movie that's like a video game. How dare you?
I know, right?
How dare you?
You know what? I didn't even say that. That's one thing I will give this movie. This is one of the first video game movies other than Sonic that I've seen that didn't make me want to pick up a controller and just play a game instead. Like, and that's what I usually hate about video game movies. I'm like, why am I watching what feels like a bunch of cutscenes when I could just go play a game?
This made me want to play it because I remember how fun it was.
Yes, it had the fun of the game, not the
It made me want to get involved again, not because I wasn't enjoying the film, but because I wanted to enjoy that feeling again that I was getting from the film, but also with myself playing it. Like that's what it made me want to get Mario Kart. That honestly legit did. Olaf Van S says, Tom, breathe in, breathe out, have a beer.
Yeah. Just not a Bud Light.
Oh dear, yeah, no Bud Lights. We've also got some membership. We've got a membership. Finbar White has been a member for 26 months, support level 1. So thank you so much. Become a member or a patron, guys. Donovan Bradford has been a member at support level 1 for 22 months and says, well, at least she outed herself as a racist. So all Asians like furries, wholesale rude. Yeah, man. Honestly. Absolutely. Yeah, you're completely right. You can't sit there and be like, well, you know, the New York accent's offensive. Oh yeah, but all Asians are just furries. They love cats.
That is just stupid shit she's ever said.
Ignorant bitch. Unbelievable.
Isn't Grace a New Yorker?
Yeah, that's why she thought it was offensive. Isn't it? Right, let's play it again. Let's keep going.
Of a lot of his personal dignity. I was like, don't do that to Mario. Where's Mario's agent? There are also 2 end credit scenes, but
there is.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Going on.
Okay, so I'm going to talk over this. I'm going to talk over this.
Yeah, I was going to say this is a scene from a show. You don't want that. I'll reshare.
Mario actually was Catsuit Mario in Mario World 3D. Super Mario.
He's
3D.
been Tanuki and Catsuit Mario and Frog Suit Mario and Jesus freaking Christ.
I mean, it's like this is not new stuff. This shows your ignorance of this IP.
For swearing. I'm so pissed. And I don't even like Mario. I like Mario. I don't love Mario. But she's making me like defend the hell out of this movie.
She is. That's what it is. All right, are we back now with this?
Yeah. Stupid. Whoops.
The second one tries to set up a potential sequel. They're like, oh, if we make another one of these, this character's going to show up. Get excited. But that character kind of showed up earlier in the film in the background in a way, like at least a variation of them. I spotted him. And
I know the thing.
Scene is so
good
quick,
for you, Grace. You get a star.
You're just so excited about that character. Just like the mere tease or mention or like blip of him is enough. So yeah, this is a mess. There's no story. Nothing.
Pause it. Scroll back. Do the arrow keys. 10 seconds. And again, play it now.
So excited about that character. Just like the mere tease or mention or like blip of him is enough. So yeah, this is a mess.
Did you do
There's
two?
no story. Nothing is explained to
3 times.
Newbies. Like when they show up, get excited. But that character kind of showed up. We make another one of these. This character's going to show up. Get excited. But that character kind of showed up earlier in the film in the background in a way, like at least a variation of them. I spotted him. And this end credit scene is so quick that it's hard to get super excited unless you're just so excited about that.
Everyone will be excited to see Yoshi.
Yes.
Everyone. This goes to show how monumental.
Spoilers, but yeah.
It doesn't matter, man. Like the Yoshis are in the trailer. This is not a big spoiler. There's a tease for Yoshi. That's it, right? And she's like, oh, well, guys, Yoshi's so unimportant. No one cares about Yoshi. This tiny little, Yoshi, the tiny little thing. No one's going to be excited. See how smug she is about this? She's so cocksure and smug. She's like, yeah, no one really cares about Yoshi. Yeah, no one's going to get excited about this tiny little blip. Yes, they are. Absolutely, of course they are.
That's why Nintendo made a game on Yoshi.
Yeah,
multiple.
It's incredibly.
Here's a fact.
Incredibly
Yoshi
popular.
was so instantly popular that when they were in the midst of making the 93 film, they put him in at the last minute. That's why he's only in the movie for like 2 or 3 shots.
It just blows my mind how ignorant she is of the material she's talking about.
She's so cocksure about it as well. Anyway,
I would argue that Yoshi is probably the most popular of all the Mario characters, to be honest with you.
Yeah, one of, outside of Mario, yeah.
Maybe he may be more popular than Mario. No, I don't know. I'd have to go see the toys, how they sell.
Right. Space button, Tom. Space button.
A character, just like the mere tease or mention or like blip of him is enough. So yeah, this is a mess. There's no story. Nothing is explained to newbies like myself. It's kind of offensive. And none of the animation styles fit together because I guess maybe they're different games. I mean, I guess it looks this way in Mario Kart, right? But from a story perspective, it just did not work for me. I have never seen an Illumination misfire this bad. In fact, I don't think they've ever misfired. This is not only the worst movie they've ever made, but in my opinion, the only bad movie they've ever made. And maybe what's different here, it's because Nintendo was so involved creatively, as you can see from the credits when you watch the movie. I guess it doesn't always work out like The Last of Us. This was so that's my review of Super Mario Brothers.
Hold that thought until next season
games, you've been warned, but maybe you need to go with somebody who is a Nintendo fan. It's going to be rough for you. I pity you, but just remember what good friend you're being. And maybe before the movie starts, ask your Nintendo fan friend to explain some of this stuff to you, which might make it a little less painful.
Grace, if you need somebody to explain this shit to you, then I have You got bigger problems in the world, honey. You got much bigger problems in the world, honey.
It's so monumentally stupid. It's not even funny. I can't, I cannot. So we got some super chats real quick. Hold on. Magitech Mags for $5 says Mario has been in different power-up suits since forever. The cat suit one was the take I called a disingenuous one. Yeah. I mean, he's, oh my God. It gets me so, words. I can't even put it into words. Tomo reviews. Wait till she sees the upcoming Zelda movie. the thing is, she's talking about, you're completely right. She's talking about at the end, right? She's talking about at the end how the animation styles are so different, they don't fit together. Yes, they do. There's nothing actually different about the animation in this movie. I don't know what she's referring to. I actually don't Did you see any weird animation that didn't align with one another? It all was the same animation style, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What is she talking about?
I don't know. It's almost like they allowed them to grab the meshes from like some of the games to use the characters, right? So I don't know. I mean, like I said, this is a love of 250 animators over the course of 2.5 years to make this film come to life, right? Zelda's already on the way, and I agree. Whoever wrote that in the comments, when Zelda shows up, she's gonna lose her stuff, because I mean that literally is Link rescuing Zelda. That's what those games are.
Well, hold that thought. So Magitech Max for $5 says, I love Yoshi. Whatever the Mario Kart game, I played him all the time, from me as a Southerner to Grace, bless her heart. Yeah. Honestly, the fact that she was we sort of covered this already, but the fact that she was so smug about it as well is just so irritating. But it's the fact she's also so smug. She's like, this is a misfire. This is the only misfire by Illumination. And you know what the difference is? Nintendo were involved. This is going to absolutely clean up. And you know why? It's because Nintendo are involved. I mean, that's literally the reason why. Because it's you are. Oh God.
You know, she is complaining because basically the creator of Mario was in every single aspect of development of this, which makes perfect sense.
Stupid.
Yeah. Oh, she could not be more wrong. If I mean, it's like she's being intentionally dense.
Yeah.
I don't even get it.
I just honestly.
Shigeru Miyamoto, the guy that basically isn't Mario. I mean, he is Mario's keeper. He's got PGA credit in this. He is the producer of this film.
Good.
And he will be for everything coming out of Nintendo. I fully expect. I think Comcast and Universal are stuck with this dude until he dies, and then the next person that comes in is going to be equally based, because there is no way Nintendo is going to let their legacy
they won't. They won't. And it's the same with Toho and Legendary. So Toho is they approve everything. They sign off on everything, and that's rightfully so. This is the way they look. Honestly, if Capcom had made that deal with Constantine Films, we probably would have had better Resident Evil stuff moving forwards as well.
True.
So do you know what I mean? Like, let's get real here. People are like, well, they're too involved. Yeah, they should be. They should be involved. Because they absolutely should be involved.
Because you want the thing you're consuming to be tonally the same across the board. And who knows that tone better than the person that's been creating it forever?
People that made it and made it popular. Yeah. What is these people are so stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness me.
I mean, if Grace makes it to Nintendo Land or whatever in California, she's going to be disappointed, because all these things are going to be there. Oh man, she didn't watch the same film I did. I don't think she.
No, I'm really, I don't really understand. But also, what I don't understand, Johnny Legs.
Well,
hell no to watching Super Mario Brothers due to casting. They messed up the inclusion. Sorry, John, are you fucking Italian, mate, or not?
No,
I don't think you're Italian. What are you talking about? They messed up the inclusion. So check this out. John Leguizamo is doubling down on criticizing Universal and Illumination's animated film, The Super Mario Brothers movie, which cast Chris Pratt and Charlie Day in the leading voice roles of Mario and Luigi. Leguizamo brought Luigi to life in a live action. Obviously, we know that. The actor told TMZ on the day, The Super Mario Brothers movie opened in theaters that he won't be watching it due to the casting. No, I will not be watching. They could have included a Latin character.
Luigi's not Latin, dumbass.
That's literally it.
He's a dumbass.
Like I was groundbreaking, and then they stopped the groundbreaking. They messed up the inclusion. They disincluded. Just cast some Latin folk. We're 20% of the population, the largest people of color group, and we're underrepresented.
Okay, he's right about the last thing, but
you
played Luigi and you're not even Italian, you dumb fuck.
He doesn't need to be in everything. I don't understand.
What the hell is he?
You don't need Latin people in everything. All right, you can say that they're underrepresented. It doesn't matter. You don't need to be in everything. You don't need black people in everything. You don't need white people in everything. You don't need everything in everything. I don't want to see homogenous shit. Right, like that's literally why a lot of movies are garbage now, because it's just homogenous. It's which one's going to be the the sort of gay character? Oh, of course it's going to be that one. Oh, where's going to be the weak little man? Oh, it's going to be that one. It's all homogenous crap. I'm so sick of it. So no, I'm glad they didn't bother doing any of this stuff. I'm very glad, and you know what? It's a better movie as a result of not checkboxing.
Yeah, and on top of that, he's not even from New York. He was born in Colombia.
Well, and to be fair, the property and everything that this game is based on comes out of Japan. He's not Japanese. Yeah. And it's like, let's try again, Johnny. You this dude just always soliciting for a job. He is a disingenuous Hollywood chucklehead.
Yeah,
pretty much.
100%.
Hey.
Fat Steven Seagal for $2.20 says, "You guys buying Hasbro's Latin X-wing from Lego?"
Sure.
Is this a thing? I'll buy it. Dear, oh dear. Honestly, John Leguizamo, what an absolute dunce. What an absolute
I used to
dunce.
like him too. That's what's sad.
Yeah, no, completely right.
I liked him in the first John Wick. That's probably the last thing that I liked him in.
He was good in that.
Yeah, he was in that, wasn't he? Yeah, he was the chop shop guy.
Oh.
He was good in that. Right, so we're going to move on to something good now. Obviously, that was good as well. That was funny. I hope you enjoyed that segment.
Wow.
I did. I hope you did. We're going to move on to something good as well, which is Johnny Depp's career is massively on the rise.
Yes.
So, honestly, this is huge. So, Johnny Depp was doing this film about Louis the 15th, Jean de Barry. I don't know if that's how you say it. It sounds like you would probably say it that way. But anyway, its worldwide premiere is opening Cannes Film Festival, but it's also opening Cannes Film Festival.
Yes.
So Lucasfilm is premiering Indiana Jones 5 at Cannes Film Festival, but this film is opening Cannes Film Festival.
Yes.
So this is huge.
Yeah.
It also same date release in French theaters as well. So I sort of did a video on this, and I was kind of discussing this, and I was saying, look, at the end of the day, this is unlikely to help him in the eyes of Americans, right? And I say that because it's a French language film. He's speaking French through the entire film. This is not going to open in America. It's incredibly unlikely it will open in America, and if it will, it'll be on very limited screens. But what this does do is, because it is opening Cannes Film Festival, and because it is going to be well received there, I absolutely have no doubt about that due to the people involved, will then send a signal to Hollywood that he is bankable again. He is someone who they can hire again. It's not about the eyes of the eyes of the average American, because they watched the case anyway with Amber Turd, and they thought, he's great anyway. So what's going on here? Like, Amber Turd is a liar. Like, we can all see that. So it's about Hollywood, and this is what matters here, is that Hollywood will see this and go, yeah, we should probably get him back in again, maybe. And just as an FYI, I do know of some discussions trying to be laid down for like an ongoing series sort of basis with this chap. So there are people that are more than happy to work with him. But there you go. This is his kind of redemption arc. It's good news. It's pretty big. Tom, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's only right of people to kind of move past the bullshit and hopefully can kind of bring him back into the fold. I mean, Johnny Depp is Johnny Depp. I mean, he's arguably one of the last guys that could probably sell a movie without it being a fucking comic book movie. So and
Tom
I
Cruise.
mean, yeah, pretty much.
Shush it.
So like, I know I just gotta piss you off, culture. You know that. No, I think it's good for him. I'm glad to see Hollywood make a bit of a turn. Hopefully this will get him back in the Pirates movies again and stuff like that. And
But it is a big deal, right? I mean, to open Cannes.
To open Cannes is a big deal, yeah.
Yeah.
So his film is opening above a Martin Scorsese film.
Yep.
It's opening above the Lucas film, Indiana Jones 5. I mean, that's pretty big. And also, as well, you got to remember this is a serious role for Johnny Depp. He's not playing the same dumb fuck that he's been in most Disney films recently.
Yeah.
You know, Jack Sparrow, a Mad Hatter. What was the other?
Lone Ranger. He was Tonto.
Yeah, I mean, he's
been
been
really
playing the
bad
same
roles.
boring, shitty archetype characters, all the same stuff. Willy Wonka, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, right? It's all the same-ish character. He's doing a very serious role. So he's opening Cannes above a Martin Scorsese film, above Indiana Jones 5, a Lucas film, above all of that, and he's doing a serious role. So people will be watching that and going, taking note here. This is good. I reckon. And I think the last serious role I watched him in was at Black Mass. Was that the film that he was in?
Wow.
That's the last serious role I watched him in. He was really good in that. He was great.
But he's a good actor. I mean, like I said, he just doesn't get taken as seriously as he should be.
After Jack Sparrow, that's all he was given, wasn't it? It's all that shit.
But Donnie Brasco was great.
Donnie Brasco is great.
Oh, love that.
Nick, what do you think?
I kind of got a love-hate relationship with Johnny Depp. I'm glad that he's starting to get roles again. I think all that crap he went through with Amber Heard is insane. The way he was canceled by the whole Me Too movement over that whole thing and lost roles and all that sort of stuff is absolutely absurd. At the same time, I'm not a big fan of his political side of things and his boisterous opinions at times in political matters. But I'm glad that he's getting roles again, and I think he deserves to get them. So that's kind of where I'm at on it.
Nice. Tom, did we have your opinion? We did, didn't we?
Yep.
Culture, anything else you want to chime in with here?
No, I'm just looking forward to it. Like I said, I mean, there's a decent chance I'll try to watch this. I think what'll happen is that is going to get purchased to go to a streamer. It'll probably be Netflix, and I'll probably catch it either there or on Amazon or somewhere when it comes out. Because I usually try to watch some stuff that most people don't. I don't mind foreign language films. I don't mind reading subtitles.
Oh yeah, look at you, Culture. I'm highbrow. I watch stuff that other people don't.
Why wouldn't you call me highbrow? I wouldn't agree. But
I wouldn't call it highbrow either, mate. But I was giving you the benefit.
Thanks, Mr. But I'm really fond of Indian cinema, especially right now, because they make action movies better than America does at the moment. So
South Korean cinema is good as well.
Great, especially horror.
Yes, so good, so good. So anyway, I thought that was good. Nice, fun little topic to sort of cover. Good to see him getting some good stuff. Real quick one now, and it is real quick. So Noah Hawley's upcoming TV series, the Alien one, is all confirmed basically. So the scripts are all done. This is the Alien TV series from Noah Hawley that will be on FX.
This is the one that happens on Earth.
Yeah. Yes. We don't really know where it's going to be set in canon and lore and anything like that. But all the scripts are done. Season 1, they're all finished. Landgraf, FX boss.
My guess is it will. I'm sorry.
As you say, yeah. So he said the show's now in active pre-production and will be gearing up for production this year. So apparently it's going to be. Where is it? I thought there was a date here. No, there is no date on when it'll be shooting, but it'll be shooting this year. So probably, depending on how long it takes, how long the season is, we could see this next year, late next year, or the year after that. The benefit of this being set on Earth, because a lot of people have an issue with it being set on Earth. The benefit of being set on Earth is that you can use locations, which will bring the budget down, which means you can spend more money on the practical effects, which is the most important part of a show like this. So there are pros and cons of it being on Earth, basically. And I think the major pro is the budget reduction means that some money could be spent elsewhere and it could look really, really good. I mean, Noah Hawley does have a good track record. He does make good stuff, right? He does make good stuff. Fargo, for instance, Fargo is good. So, didn't he do Legion as well? People really like Legion, if I remember rightly. So, I don't know much about Legion, never watched it, but people seem to like him. So, thoughts, Tom? You were going to say something then, weren't you?
I was going to make a bad joke. That's all.
Just going to derail my stream.
You asked where this is going to take place in the franchise. I was going to say, yeah, somewhere between suck and shitty, but
no, I honestly,
there's two good alien movies at the end of the day. Let's be real. That's all there is to it.
Disagree, mate. Alien 3 is a guilty pleasure of mine. There are some very good things about
guilty
Alien 3.
pleasure, yes. I can see that.
No, there
it's not a good movie.
There's some very good things about Alien 3, bruh. We do.
You have to forgive what they did to two characters who didn't deserve it, though. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, I get that. Absolutely.
And it derailed the franchise, so.
Yeah, I know. 100% it did. 100%. Culture, do you want to say anything on this? It look like you do.
I have no interest in this. I don't trust anybody anymore with any of these things. And again, I know you'll make me watch it, Nate, so I will.
I will, yeah.
Yeah.
I know you will.
because I know I'm not getting out of it. But no, I feel like they've screwed up so many things that I love, that this is just another opportunity to screw up something I love.
No, okay, that's fair. That is fair. From what I know about it, from people, there's a lot to be positive about. Let's put it that way. That's the most I can say.
Okay. Well, then like I said, I'm there for it. I'm going to check it out, and I'll be here to talk about it when we're supposed to. I will give my real feelings about it in comparison to the two good alien films that are out there.
You made me get on a plane, bitch. Gary for £5 says the fact that they put the voice of Mario as Jumping Man from the original game and established him as a different character shows they thought of everything.
They did.
They really did think about stuff in this. They did really well.
And Jumpman was the only character that I can think of that would have had a slightly different look than everybody else in Mario's family or in anywhere in the boroughs that they were in. So, yeah.
Yes. And Gary chimed in again for £5. So sorry if my last super chat was a spoiler. I came in when you talked about end credits and thought you were talking spoilers. No, it's sorry. That's not really. It's not really a spoiler. The thing is, there's nothing really to spoil about this film. I don't think. I think it's that. Yeah.
Especially if you played the games, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, it's honestly, here's the thing. You end up, you know what's going to happen. You end up where you think you're going to go. Things that you think would happen do. And you end up being exposed to an entire world of the games you grew up with and generations grew up with, and everybody arrives at the same conclusion, which is a pretty amazing ending. And you can tell that story. There are no spoilers in it. This is exactly what you think it's going to be: a wonderful family film with nothing objectionable in it, which is impossible to say now when you have, what Disney Plus is doing with shows right now that are, bringing in adult themes and stuff. So, yeah.
Well, that takes us nicely off to our final topic of the day.
Ooh.
Ike Perlmutter is on the fucking warpath.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he really is on the warpath. You have to remember, ladies and gents, that this is incredibly rare for Perlmutter to be discussing anything publicly like this, to do interviews like this. Very, very rare. One, because he's one of the singular individual largest shareholder of Disney stock, right? He is one of the largest, as an individual, holders of Disney shares. He has $3 billion worth.
Yep.
$3 billion worth. So everything he says now loses him money.
Yep.
It actually loses him money, and he fucking knows it.
Yep.
And he's still saying it. he is absolutely on a warpath against Bob Iger right now and Disney in general. I've got to give this to you, Culture. You sort of lead the way on this, mate, because you've sort of done a video on this as well.
Yeah. Look, Ike is the whole reason Disney has Marvel. I mean, let's be fair. He sold it to them.
Literally sold it to them.
Yeah.
Let's take that one step further, Culture. Ike is the reason we still fucking have Marvel.
This is also true. Yeah, we would not have Marvel without Ike Perlmutter. Correct. It was in the turlet.
He's also one of the largest shareholders of
Yes.
Disney. You know.
Yeah. And to Mr. H's point, he's a billionaire. And every time he opens his mouth and he risks the stock price, he's eliminated his idea of being self-invested in this. But from the article here, I mean, do you want me to read this, or do you want me to dive in? How do you want me to approach it?
Yeah, I mean, just get some of the highlights, basically. I mean, you know, sort of
well, I mean,
what you know about it, and we just discussed.
Okay,
so
Ike in particular is very vocal. He is a businessman through and through. He's vindictive, he's old school, and he's pissed. And he's not the only activist investor that's now going to be activated against Disney. So in the context of all of this, he told Disney, don't do these things. It's going to cost us, including the issue with the Parents' Rights and Education Bill in Florida. He said, do not go political. And they did. He said he is along the way said, we need to stop what we're doing. We need to be more cost considerate. We need to consider profit over box office numbers. And he's 100% right. Box office numbers don't mean anything if it costs you $450 million to get the film, out and advertised. It doesn't make you money at $1 billion to do that. Hey, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah. So you're completely right. He reiterates how he's a bottom line man. He's a businessman. It's a case of profit, expenditure versus money coming in. Is it making money? Is it actually making the company money? It doesn't matter how big the box office takings are if it's not actually making the company money. And he says, and he said long in parts of these interview with the Wall Street Journal, he said, I've long said that they need to bring down the budget of the Marvel movies because they're too big. They don't make that much money, which is what we've been saying for a very long time, ladies and gents.
Well,
but this is the interesting stuff. No, just real quick. This is the interesting stuff because again, he literally he shits all over Disney. He goes, I've long expected that my working relationship with Disney would end, that it should come as a result of my trying to help Disney improve its business should sadden many shareholders as it does me. So this is him reaching out to other shareholders, by the way. Make no mistake. The company's largest individual shareholder. So he is the company's largest individual shareholder. Despite my employment termination, I will continue to hold my shares of Disney. And this is the fighting talk. And continue to seek improvements at the company for the benefit of all stakeholders. Remember, ladies and gents, he's the fucking reason Nelson Peltz got involved and there was going to be a proxy war to out Bob Iger. Perlmutter said his desire to see costs cut to improve efficiency was why he supported Peltz. It is that approach to Disney's operations that has formed my support for this triad in seeking to restore the dividend, to fix the company's inflated cost structure, and ensure a successful CEO succession. So this is all about the Nelson Peltz thing. But yeah, what do you make of that? I mean, that is fighting talk.
Well,
that is him literally calling out other stakeholders.
He is, and he's saying specifically here, I'm working against my own financial self-interest in the short term to benefit myself later in the long term. And I'm doing that in an effort not just for myself as a shareholder, but for all shareholders, which is basically what the company should have been doing in the first place. I mean, and it to be fair, he's 100% right. I mean, we've all been talking about this for a while. This guy he's gone bonkers. And I think Mike sent a super chat that feeds right into that.
I was just about to say as well, I had literally only just occurred to me. He released this interview, timed it perfectly, a day or two after what happened. The annual shareholder. I literally didn't even put two and two together, but he's done it immediately after that. And Bob Iger got fucked over in that shareholder meeting.
Oh, he was
absolutely obliterated. But then he's done this interview as well. An incredibly rare thing. Ike does not do interviews. He doesn't. So he's come out, done this, fight and talk, and then he's gone, yeah, all shareholders, you should be worried.
Yeah.
The single largest shareholder, I'm worried. but I'm fighting you back. Basically, I've got you cornered.
And again, I mean, this is of course, compared to the internet, excuse me, the institutional shareholders, it's not really a drop in the bucket. But if you get enough of these guys involved and invested, and they get more shares from the regular retail holders like myself and others, right?
Yeah.
That's a large pool of votes. It's gonna make everybody a little bit nervous, you know.
Yeah.
And
Mexican Arm Man for $5 says, for Mr. Perlmutter, who owns $3 billion worth of stock, this is a super thermonuclear for him to have specifically released a written statement to Wall Street Journal. You can't stress that enough.
No.
This is huge. And Mecca J again for $2 says Ike has 0 Fs to give anymore.
Yeah.
But he does and he doesn't, right? Like, this is fighting talk, but it's also a case of, like, you have annoyed me so much. I tried, you didn't listen. So then we tried to do the proxy battle. You didn't listen. You then fired me. You then got rid of me. Now I'm back with a vengeance, is what's happened.
You got to imagine it's not about the money anymore, right? Because
for him,
he's fucking richer than rich.
Yeah.
What this is about is his legacy and what they're doing to the company that, like we were saying, he brought back from the brink. Like, people don't realize how bad a shape Marvel was in at one point. Like, they made those Marvel deals where they licensed out the Punisher and Fantastic Four and Spider-Man and all those guys. They were next to nothing.
Yeah.
And Sony's never going to give up those rights. Sony's never going to give up those rights.
Well, he also chimes in a little bit here, right? So he said that despite his employment termination, he would continue to hold his Disney stock and seek improvements for shareholders. I wish only the very best for Disney. Again, he's calling out the stakeholders. Yes. I wish only the very best for Disney stakeholders, its employees around the world, its millions of devoted fans and customers, its brilliant creators and contributors, and its many shareholders like me. I will continue to advocate for actions that secure Disney's long-term financial health and allow a new generation of management to reverse the trend of failing shareholder equity and return the dividend to its prior level.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Culture. If he's no longer an employee and he's now just a shareholder, he can say whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
And he was still working with the company. Despite the fact that he was a very elusive gentleman. At that point, I'm sure he couldn't badmouth the company, but now he can say whatever he wants.
Yes, that's exactly.
So them letting him go was their biggest mistake.
Well, I'm sure that Iger was doing a calculation in his head. He's like, okay, if he says anything, it works against his common interest, his self-interest, because it'll cost him financially, as Nate was saying at the very beginning. Yes.
Never underestimate somebody who's got money to burn.
And pissed.
Yeah.
The guy is pissed. He's been pissed for a while since they pushed him out into a different division, Marvel, Entertainment, rather than being in charge of what Feige was doing, because he didn't want Feige there anymore. He saw the writing on the wall. Feige was wasting money in the production of these films. They were making films that he thought, maybe not should have been made. And while he may have missed on one or two of those ideas overall from a financial aspect, beyond that, he was 100% right at everything else.
He was mad about the X-Men deal.
Yes.
And people look at it from one perspective just because of the way he overreacted on certain things and what he did to the X-Men in the comics. But they weren't looking at it from the perspective that he was pissed because that deal didn't make them any fucking money.
Nope.
That's why. Like, that deal was made before he saved the company. And he's looking at it as, this is the most popular comic book on the planet right now. And we have no access to any of its money. Right? Yeah. We got the fucking lousy copies of the comics, and that's all we can fucking sell. Yeah. I don't even know what they had for toy rights at that point. Like, that was the other thing that really irked Ike Perlmutter, was when they gave away the toy rights to fucking Spider-Man to Sony.
Yeah.
They finally got him back, but anyway.
This is, You got to remember, Ike has ridiculous sums of money. He doesn't care now about this. He's done. This is all fighting talk. And I thought, what a great way to end the stream on that note, because goodness me, absolute gold dust. That really is. Absolutely.
I wonder what would happen or how it would fare to Disney's stock if he just sold all his
Well, it should
Disney
tank
shares.
it, because he would sell it. Yeah, it would tank it, wouldn't it, I think?
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now.
If he started selling, wouldn't that cause a run, Culture?
No, but at the same time, I mean, he wants the leverage he has right now. He's sitting on a lot of
Right,
leverage.
he wouldn't sell it exactly,
Yeah.
but I'm just
Yeah.
saying he could tank the company if he
But
wanted
if
to.
he wants, and somebody in the chat mentioned this is Machiavellian language. Yeah. This again, he's an old school cutthroat business guy. I've been saying this since when they fired him. I'm like, this was a mistake. This is a miscalculation. Iger's been full of them lately, and he did it verbally on the freaking shareholder meeting, the annual shareholder meeting. I've never seen a bloodbath like that. You want to talk about the layoffs at Disney? The bloodbath in the shareholders meeting was Iger was trying to get up off the mat at points in time. And look, some of the best analysis I saw was with Tom and Andre and Mexican Iron Man, and with Valiant Renegade and Mexican Iron Man and
well, we've got a video on the second channel actually, so links in the description box.
Oh, that's right.
Specifically, so please do check it out.
Indeed, I've never seen that. And every time we talk about this, Nate, I'm like, if we are seeing this, high level investors are paying attention, and I mean, again, we're blessed with all the beautiful minds we get to stream with, but look, we've been calling this out for a while. The wrong direction Disney has taken, the move against family, the Western culture, all of that, it's cost the company money. It's cost shareholders
a lot of money.
They're billions and billions of dollars. I mean, and again, with what Iger said the other day, somebody suggested $1 trillion. Would that surprise me? That losing Reedy Creek and now calling Reedy Creek and Disney the same thing, that misstep in the shareholder meeting, it's incalculable how much damage has been done in the last couple of years to the company.
Just in the last couple of days, literally last couple of days, shareholder meeting, and then Ike Perlmutter last couple of days are absolutely wrecked. Final super chat of the evening, ladies and gents, from Magitech Mags for $5 says Iger's ego certainly didn't save him this week. He couldn't help himself, and now DeSantis could have a case against him and pissing off Ike. Yikes. 100%. And what a great note to end on. Ladies and gents, I will be doing a members only and patron only stream immediately after this. I've already posted it. So you go to the members community tab over on the channel, or the patron wall thing. You can just see it over there. There's a link to it all. So head on over there. Un momento. I will be joining you for a low-key chill stream.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So please do head on over there. If you want to join in on those things, please do become a member. Please do become a patron. It helps out a lot. Hope you've enjoyed this stream. Guys, what do we got going on? What's new? Nick, I hear you got a chill stream on later on.
Yeah, chill stream.
Chill stream tonight. We're going to be talking the disaster in state of Star Wars after this last episode of Mandalorian, which was just the worst. Woeful. It just was not good. And then we are going to be streaming starting early in the morning tomorrow, 7 a.m. We're going to be covering Star Wars Celebration, hitting any breaking news. We're going to go all day long. So if anybody's wants to pop in,
Celebration this weekend.
Yeah, in the UK. It starts at 2 in the morning tonight, but I'm not.
I'm gonna drive up there. No, I'm not.
Yeah. We are not starting at 2 a.m. So we'll start at 7 Central in the morning tomorrow. Get caught up on all what's been going on, and then cover stuff throughout the day.
Very nice.
And then our weekly Saturday night live stream.
So head on over to Echo Base Network. Hit subscribe if you like their stuff. Tom, what you got going on, bud?
About 3 hours from Midnight's Edge After Dark. The morning show in the morning.
Very, very nice. And Culture, what you got going on?
I think I'm going to drop in for a little while over with the WDW Pro Show a little bit later.
That too. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say Tom's going to be there too, and then I may swing in and check out a chill stream because it's not like that's done very often. I mean,
no, they're rare. Nick and his chill streams, they're really rare, right there.
We do at least one a week,
and I'm looking forward to Nate's attendance of the Star Wars Celebration drag event because I know he's a big fan. So I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I've got a little tutu I was going to wear. I thought my biceps would look really good in a tutu.
They would. It would.
We got people on site that will be at Celebration in the UK that are going to be popping in and feeding us information on what they're seeing, what's going on. So it's going to be very interactive throughout the day.
Interesting. So just as a quick one again, after this stream, I'm doing a members and patron only stream. You can only have access to that whilst being a member of my channel. The main channel, Mistakes Reviews, or becoming a patron. Links to all of that are in the description box. Please do support. It goes a long way and you do get some benefits. What else is going on? Link in the description box to the second channel, the live stream channel, the podcast channel. Please do hit subscribe over there. But that's about it, ladies and gents. Not much else going on. What, you put your fingers up? What?
When is the car channel coming back? I keep hearing this talk.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously.
I know.
Right.
It's a
bloody obvious isn't it, at this point in time. Yeah, no. So the car channel is going to start up again soon. I'm waiting on registration documents to come through, basically. Moment that's come through, that just kicked right off. Already partially filmed some bits and pieces, so that will be started off. I've got a car channel, guys. That's in the description box as well, but that'll start off again soon as well, which will be good fun. Like, I'm looking forward to that. There'll be sort of fairly chilled, vloggy, car-ish. There'll still be car-related, but there'll be a little bit of vlogging as well going on. Jasper actually makes many appearances in those videos, believe it or not. He's always in those videos. So yeah, that will get started again as well. But anyway, from me and everyone else, my back's hurting, so we're going to go. Thanks, everyone. Cheers. We'll catch you next Tuesday or Sunday.
Chill stream.
Stream on Sunday. Chill stream or the stream in a minute. Anyway, bye.
See you guys.
Bye.